Where do I start? They say life imitates art. I'm trying to paint a picture. Paint a picture that's licking you scripture. I ain't just another nigga. Another nigga with a dream. It seems we finally made him all believe. A dream to be the reason we come to achieve the life that we would all kill for, even die for. I score, so sick, so sick.
I always felt that, but maybe that's just me. I
consider you a designer.
So, yeah, same. Like, you know, okay. So Virgil, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and people talking about Virgil. They always talk about Virgil, and he gets lumped into not being a designer. And I'm like, this guy is more of a designer than most people.
Yeah.
Just because he doesn't sew doesn't mean he's not a designer.
That's my hang up, I think.
Right, same here. But being able to sew just makes you a crafts person.
Yeah.
Just like you don't need to know how to draw to be an artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think a designer is more of a vision person and an idea person, not as much a maker of things.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. This is me talking to myself, by the way, because people talk to me all the time. Oh, you're a designer of fashion. I'm like, I'm not a fashion designer. No, I'm not.
But that's what you do, though.
I kind of am.
That's what you do.
You know, like, so I have to own
That's
it.
how I found you.
Yeah. Fuck it.
That's
fashion designers.
There it is. Sounds good on designers. Sounds real good when you say it.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Pete, remember when we used to have music on the show?
Yeah.
We can't do that no more.
No, they cut us off.
Well, you used to connect us to
Got a
all
message from Drake.
No, it was the Kanye one.
Yeah.
Poop Diddy Scoop. They took that down.
That's
I said,
what did it. That's
the one that did it.
Poop Diddy Scoop shut it down. I was like, you know, this is a lot of work to make this a segment that maybe we can't even legally have. So yeah, no, that Peter, but you think you could find us some local people?
I think so, for
Some
sure.
local music plugs.
There's a lot.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were the music plug. You're a local music correspondent.
I have a bunch for you.
Send them.
Okay.
Don't be stingy.
I'll have a whole list tomorrow.
Yeah. Local artists from the Scotia Place. Your music may or may not be featured on the Changing the Narrative podcast. And welcome to Changing the Narrative podcast, episode 33. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Like Scottie Pippen. I'm sitting in between a familiar voice. I know you know his voice if you know the show. He is here as a special guest. But he's not really a guest. He's part of the family. He goes by the name
Peter Hemsworth.
And across from Peter,
Duane Jones.
Ooh. And we're here. What's the Change the Narrative podcast all about? Authentic, unapologetic, uncensored conversations from what? Entrepreneurs of color? I mean, Pete.
No.
No?
Ah.
Well, not today.
Not totally.
Usually it's three entrepreneurs of color. Unfortunately, Lauren is not here today. Lauren was in, where's she, Vancouver?
I don't even know. Somewhere out west.
Yeah, somewhere out west. Her volleyball team had her tournament that she's been talking so much about that I'm sure she's now glad it's over because she's sick in bed, her and Hillary. I don't know if they caught something on the plane or something from some of these germy young people, but she's sick.
And they're not in bed together, by the way.
No.
That would be weird.
Less weird because they're family.
Yeah, but they're growing now.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Okay. Duane says it's weird. It's weird. So we wish you well, Lauren and Hillary. I hope you feel better. And we'll see you next week. Peter's back. Peter didn't know he was gonna come back on the show.
I didn't know.
But I hit Peter up today. I was like, listen, man, we need you for some emergency voice assistance.
And I'm here. I mean, we're kind of neighbors-ish, a little bit.
We don't,
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Walking distance.
Well, we a lot closer than Duane.
Southside.
Hey, you live. How's the house building coming?
Cummins Plains. So house building's coming along. We got the foundation. They filled in. I don't even know what you call it. They made some plumbing stuff.
Okay.
Go towards the foundation. Pissing everybody off, I'm sure. Lives in the neighborhood.
Whatever.
I got to meet my interior designer.
Ooh.
And that's exciting.
Nice.
Cool.
Talk about color palettes and what you want on this wall and tiles and wood flooring and all this kind of stuff. So
Nice.
that's fun getting to work with a creative.
Good.
So,
Good.
it's cool.
Enjoy it, man. Good. I can only imagine how exciting it must be to build. This is building your first home?
second home, but first time building a home.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw it was just, you showed me the foundation of it in a photo.
Yeah. It was literally, I think at that point it was just like cinder blocks in the ground.
Yeah.
Now it looks like walls, but they filled those walls in, so now it's just like walls sticking out of the ground.
Right.
Nice. Baby
Progress.
steps, baby. Yeah, progress, like you said, Pete. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you. What are we gonna talk about today? We got some housekeeping notes for the people. First and foremost, we have a live event. It's coming up on Thursday.
This Thursday, July 26th,
Talk about it.
at 6 p.m. at Common Good Solutions.
Yeah.
We are going to have special guest Cazhhmere, who is a legendary local / Toronto based film director.
Yeah.
And we're also going to have special appearances by Chevy Price.
What's some of Cazhhmere's work? Who she worked with?
Said Backstreet Boys, Cardinal Official,
Classified.
Jordan Classified.
Yeah.
She's shooting some corporate commercial stuff now.
Nice.
Doing a film, she said. I can't remember who else.
She got a lot of cool shit on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna sit down with her, have a chat. Common Good Solutions, 6 to 8. Halifax Social Network is involved.
Yes.
Yak.
Youth Art Collective.
There we go. Who else? Who else is on the team involved in this?
We also got Taking It Global. They are also involved, and they seem to be like another youth-centered organization.
Nice. It's all about the kids. So we're gonna talk how to take art turned into business. Some of Cazhhmere's story was a Q&A. And Chevy Price is going to be around afterwards to chat and connect with the people.
And also, I heard that Chevy is interested in passing the mic to some youth. So, got people like Josh Creighton and Kate McDonald
shout out to
of
Josh
the
Creighton.
Magic Project. She'll be speaking as well. So, should be some pretty... that listeners to this podcast, you want to meet some interesting people, this would be somewhere to come.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's art, it's business, it's community, it's what we're all trying to do as those trying to grow Halifax into what it's becoming. It's just such a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I love it. So make sure you're there. What's it again, Duane? July 26th?
Yes, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Common Good Solutions.
5557 Kennard Street, folks. Halifax, Nova Scotia. We'll see you there.
North.
We'll see you there. We're also sad to anyone who listens to us on SoundCloud. We're not on SoundCloud anymore.
R.I.P.
But it's more important for you to download this on Apple Podcasts because that's where, thankfully, 85-90% of you out there who are listening, you're listening. No, that's actually not true. Because we got to take into account the Facebook views and the YouTube views. But aside from those two platforms, most people are listening to the show through the audio channels, through Apple Podcasts. So if you're not with Apple, get one. If you don't have one, get one. And if you do have one, download the show and subscribe. Pretty please, we'll see you there. What else is going on? R. Kelly has something to admit.
I guess.
Peter, you the one who told us about the story. We don't want to support it, but we want to know how people feel about it. What's up? Peter, go ahead.
Well, this is, I feel like, something I saw just before I came here.
I'm so glad you saw this.
But R. Kelly put out a song called I Admit, and it's a 19-minute song, I guess, about the allegations he was up against. So there's that. I don't know. I don't even want to listen to it.
You don't, but you do.
So he used to refer to himself as the Pied Piper of R&B, correct?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yes.
The Pied Piper, wasn't he famous for luring kids under a bridge and murdering them or something? Or in that fairy tale?
I think it's something.
Or doing something to them.
The things that R. Kelly has been doing should not surprise anyone. I can't listen to his music anymore because I don't know the age of the woman that he's singing these songs about.
I know, it just grosses me out.
And therefore, I can't listen to none of this music. My mind's telling me no, but my body is. But no, it's not telling me anything.
Yeah.
No.
But not to listen to his music. Okay, good. So if you want to know how R. Kelly feels and the things he wants to admit to the people, it's 19 minutes long.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to get up. He's got a lot to get off his chest.
Yeah. I'll have to pull out the Rap Genius for that one.
Okay, so he's gonna do a 19-minute In My Feelings remix of this R. Kelly thing, or do some kind of cross meme thing. R. Kelly In My Feelings.
Probably already there. Yeah.
Oh
Check
man, this In My Feelings dance though. Have you done it?
Hell no.
Why
I don't do
not?
that shit.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with dancing? Duane, you don't like to dance?
Nah, man.
No, not on that too.
You don't dance?
No. I mean, maybe one day I'll break
I'm in the club, posted up, got my arms folded.
I'm definitely that guy, that creepy dude at the back with the drink and just watching. I only dance if the girl is like right there.
Is that is that an island thing?
It's an island thing. Well, but some guys dance by themselves. Guys, mostly in my generation, they drop a skank.
What?
So a skank is like, it's like almost like a two-step kind of, but then you got like your hands and you kind of like, that's the most of what some guys would do. Then you got some guys who do all of that other shit that you saw in the Sean Paul video, but fuck,
be all sweaty and stuff.
Yeah, most guys I know just, you're not gonna get no girls dancing like that.
The girls don't like when you dance like that?
To a degree. The Caribbean girls, they want you dancing up on them.
Right.
They don't want you like all
dancing
by
in front
yourself,
of them.
dancing, putting on a show. They want you dancing on them.
Okay.
And that's more what I'm interested in.
That's fair. That's you're a physical touch love language kind of guy, aren't you, Duane?
Yes.
Yes. If you guys haven't done your love languages, make sure you do your love languages. Duane knew his off the bat, so I did mine again this week. They were what were they? Acts of service tied with oh shit. Fuck. What the hell was it? Acts of service, words of affirmation, not words.
Physical.
No. Fuck. I'm having the biggest brain fart right now.
Gifts or something?
No, it's the other one. The one we haven't said.
I can't remember.
So what is this?
It's called the 5 love languages.
Okay.
Now I'm annoyed because I know what they are. Quality time.
Oh, there you go.
Quality time. I like more quality time. So yeah, learn your love languages. Then you can have more intimate encounters with the people in your life that matter to you.
Got you.
Tekashi asked out Rob.
I think his love language is touch too.
Yeah, it might have to be, eh? He got robbed at gunpoint. They took his... What, Peter, you're the music analyst.
Oh,
Tell
is
us
this my news segment?
Yeah, this is your segment, Peter. Go for it.
Tekashi 6ix9ine got robbed for all his jewelry and money. And he said it was an inside job.
He wears, what, close to $1 million worth of jewels, or so he says?
Yeah, I think they said $750,000.
And jewelry?
I guess.
On his person?
I guess.
He's lucky he's alive, to be
Living in
honest.
Brooklyn? He talks a lot of shit, welcoming. What does he say? He said, I can't get touched.
I think at one point he put out his address or an address.
He did, yeah. He had his address out, like, come see me type thing.
Yeah.
But then he was on tour all the time or moving around. So, I mean...
And then he says he's got 5 bodyguards and he likes talking shit.
Oh, yeah, that was an Instagram post. Yeah.
So the young prince of the trolls.
You finally got it.
And I'm not wishing none of this on nobody, but when you talk a bunch of shit and you run your mouth, and the streets is not the internet, that's why I just be staying off the internet, man.
Yeah.
I just stay away from that shit.
Did you guys see what he did with Chief Keef and them?
What did he do?
When he went to Chicago.
Yeah, so he's beefing with Chief Keef and then showed up in Chief Keef's neighborhood and was like, I'm out here. Where are y'all at?
Right.
And I think he got on Instagram Live and he was giving out money to the people in the streets and just acting real extra. And then it turns out it was like pre-recorded or some shit so that it just looked like he was out there and he could like play the gangster card. And then that was around the time Chief Keef got shot at in New York. Like it was like he is asking for stuff. We
just seen it happen to X, bro. We just seen it happen to Triple X.
Do you think he's just following the 50 model?
He is. Okay, so that's the other thing today. And 50 don't stop.
Oh, so the Floyd Mayweather.
Him and Floyd are going at it.
What happened?
They're always at it. It's back and forth. You're illiterate. Mayweather saying 50 got herpes, and he's broke, and they're just being petty.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you see Tekashi in the comments. How can I get involved in this beef?
Attention is currency, yo.
So, and 50 calls him his son. Like him and 50 just.
It's, the model is right there.
It's scary because it's cool until somebody walks up on you and puts a gun in your face. It says, "Give me all your money and your jewels."
Yeah.
And your life may or may not end in that moment.
I'd just be interested to hear, like, sit down with him and be like, okay, what is your thought process here? Because something tells me something like, you know what, I came from not much, and this makes me and my family money, and if I die because of it, and my family gets money from it,
it's okay.
What's my life worth?
Right.
And that, from that perspective, I'm like, it's kind of sad to me in a lot of ways, but I don't know. I think right now he's had 7 or 8 hit records. So maybe the music can speak a little bit more for itself now.
Right. He's got a feature with Nicki Minaj now.
Yeah, that just came out, and it had 10 million views on that video in the first day or something. Like unbelievable.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's true or not, but I hear his antics are messing up his business. So
of course they are.
He's not getting as many shows as he could get.
You're getting robbed at gunpoint, and I'm a promoter. I'm not bringing you in this nobody could touch me energy to my venue.
Yeah.
So that someone can say, "Oh yeah, you can be touched."
I'm the one that did it.
Right.
At this show.
Right. And now your venue is like, even when what's the Troy Ave shooting at something Plaza. Fuck, what's it called? Something Plaza in New York. And I think T.I. was maybe the headliner. And they were like, people got murdered at the T.I. show.
Yeah. Right. That's what always happens. It's like T.I. show or whoever show.
Right. And then you're held accountable for something that somebody. Yeah, that's scary.
Some other idiot did.
That's scary. So yeah, keep your circle. He said it was an inside job, so keep your circle small, right?
Yes.
That's what happened. And you guys didn't hear about Safaree and his triple indictment, and then he got booed, and then he made a song about it. Seems like a lot of attention-seeking bullshit out here, man.
Oh yeah. It's all like fragile masculinity things, and even like his response, like to the crowd, just trying to tell, "Oh, I get better girls than you," blah blah blah. Like, so what?
Yeah.
Like what? Like
I fuck better bitches than you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, is that still? But that's that masculine bullshit.
It's like, you don't like my music? But guess what?
Yeah, and it's part of like an out of touch thing too, where he's reached a level of fame where he doesn't understand the dynamic anymore. Where people like, obviously they're gonna be upset. Like, that's not the way to go about it if you're getting booed. It's the exact opposite way to
you don't
not
like
get
me?
shit thrown
I'm gonna
at you.
insult you.
Yeah.
And where he did it to people,
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's where the goons live.
Like, you just did that in front of a crowd of drug dealers who have nothing better to do.
Oh man.
And someone's here looking for an opportunity to come up.
Yeah. And speaking of Tekashi, like, Safaree got robbed, didn't he?
Yep.
Like a month ago.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And people, so in his situation there, I kind of take Safaree's side a little bit, because I heard he was crying or something.
Yeah,
And
he got robbed, and then he went and did a radio interview immediately after.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Angie Martinez.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And people were giving him a hard time for crying, but it's like, you know what? That's kind of an actual human response to like just realizing you almost died.
It's a human response to cry.
Yeah, it's a
Is
human
it a-
response to cry.
Is it a human response to go on live radio
No. That's tough. Well, that's a stupid
and
response.
cry and tell your story? And that's the thing that they're talking about with like the fact that social media is this like huge, powerful machine. And like people are doing things on the internet that shouldn't be being done on the internet.
Yeah.
And are commanding people's attention and are highly inappropriate.
Well, even imagine this. Going back to the Tekashi situation, I was listening to Academics, who's the YouTube news guy for hip hop.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, I woke up to some 4 a.m. calls from him. So I'm like, after you get robbed, the first thing you're thinking is, I better call the...
Right.
Unless he's good friends with him. I think he's friends with him. But
And if you
call
are
my
friends-
news guy to
and
get
if-
the story
and
right.
if you are friends with the news guy, that sounds fishy.
Yeah, especially being so new. Like, yeah, that's not the first person you want to be.
That's
Talking to.
that's the industry.
But the even the thought to be like, I need to reach out to the news right after that happened is kind of crazy too. Not your family, well, probably family.
Like, wild, man.
Clout
That's
chases.
wild.
How's the t-shirt sales, Pete?
Good, we're all done. Thank you
Nice.
to everybody who purchased one.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was good.
I can't wait for mine.
Yeah,
I got
it's
mine.
Coming. It's coming.
When's it coming? The ETA.
Soon, 1st of August. Yeah,
Nice. Oh,
being
shit.
made right
I
now.
have mine on. I have mine on in the show. As soon as I get it, I'm putting it on. Shouts to Pete the Beasley.
Yeah, shout out to
BZLY.com.
Grant Keddy as well.
What is that shirt you're wearing?
Oh yeah, I was gonna shout out this. So on Saturday, I went down to this place in Halifax called Nova Scotia Kids.
Yeah.
So they sell all streetwear brands,
Yeah,
Supreme and all that. They also have their own brand, Nova Scotia Kids, and they did a collab with Trev Clothing. So I went down and met those guys and got one of these.
Yeah.
Camp.
Shout out.
Of these. A bunch of good guys.
Nice.
More people just working hard, and
Okay.
the pop-up shop was down there in Halifax. So it was good to meet everybody there and support.
Shouts to Trev. Shouts to Trev.
Yeah,
Clothing.
yeah.
Much love to the entrepreneurs out there getting to it, yo. Get to it. Is that everything for housekeeping this week? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it is. Duane, what'd you do this week, my man?
So, yeah, basically it was mostly working on hiring at day job stuff.
Are you still on that?
Still on that. Well, we came to our choice of who we want, so now it's just a matter of finishing up.
You narrowed it down from how many to how many?
From 27 to one person.
Shit. Okay.
So yeah, now we just gotta finish the HR process and let once the HR is happy with our choice, then we can go ahead and let them know.
Right. Nice.
So that's good. So I talked about hurting my groin in the last episode.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. How you feeling? How you feeling now?
So the pain started to like go away a bit. So I thought I'm
shit.
getting a little better. I'm
here
starting
we
to
go.
heal. And then I was getting dressed for work on Friday, and my wife's like, "You got a huge bruise all the way down your leg." I'm like, "I do."
Good.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh man, I gotta go to the doctor because it is bothering me." So I tried to go and fell victim to the Nova Scotia doctor shortage. Clinic didn't have doctors. I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
And that's not funny.
I didn't
But it's
end up, I didn't end up getting to see a doctor until Saturday. Then the doctor said, "Actually, this is just a minor tear." So I was like, "So I don't get bed rest?" No, you basically have to. So I was hoping to get bed rest, to be honest. Like,
No rest in the bed.
I didn't have to do anything.
Nah.
And she was like, no, it's okay. You should continue to walk and continue to do things.
Good. Physically active.
So it's just gonna hurt for a long time for no reason. And then 2 cream 2 sugar. So that was
Yeah,
really
baby.
cool.
Shouts to Jonathan. How you say his last name again?
I think it's Dodozda.
Dodozda. Jonathan Dodozda. I seen him today, actually. We shot some really dope video for the event. It was at Daily Grind.
Oh, yeah.
Maria North was there.
Kayla Flynn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kayla.
What's the dude that had the paintings downstairs?
Prince Fuse.
Maria North.
Yeah.
Scripts, does she go by? Scripts.
Yes. Yeah. Scripts, so she does all the cool pill paintings.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Duane Jones, of course, of Art Pays Me.
Yeah.
Yes, me. Kirsten, whose last name I forgot. Damn it. I think that's it. That's who was there.
Had a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Lots of good turnout. Lots of people who came said like they just wanted to meet me, and that was very weird.
Okay.
But it kind of makes you feel like, whoa, interesting. Like the work I'm doing seems to matter because people just wanted to meet me. So
that's cool.
That was crazy. And I'm looking forward. Jonathan wants to do more. I'm just looking forward to it. And I met someone Insta famous.
Okay.
Who was there? Hafia. Shout out to Hafia.
Yeah, she walked that Easy season
3.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And Prince Fuse, man, that guy is a real like BZLY type.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it said on his picture, it said no bio.
Yes.
And I'm like, this guy, you can't find pictures of him anywhere.
Yeah.
He didn't supply a bio, and I'm like looking at him. He's like, yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Secrets.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was cool.
Anything else?
No, that's. Oh, well, no, it just felt good. It felt good to display smart. Oh, and shout out to former Lieutenant Governor Marianne Francis, who also I ran into randomly the day before and was like, I said, I got an art show. She's like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
And she came.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was dope.
Nice.
Yeah, you got a cool. That's who you took the photo with that you posted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. That. Good luck, man.
Family friend. So
good luck, yo.
Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. Peter, what about you?
This week?
Yeah, what'd you do this week?
I was working on a painting, so.
Yeah, you were. I seen it.
Yeah.
Nobody else could see it though.
It's fire. But so how I usually start the process of coming up with ideas for a new collection in fashion is start off with a painting and get the colors right and all the things like, you know, all the things transferable from art to fashion. I guess fashion is art, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so most of my week was just alone, listening to music and painting that.
Yeah.
And then I got out a bit this weekend, went to Doing Damage at Gus's Pub, which is their hip-hop night.
Nice.
Very cool night. Matt Galaxy was DJing and T-Woo is the guy who runs it. So, yeah, it was a good night.
Cool.
That's about it. What about you?
So we recorded last week, like I think it was a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to see Daniel Caesar. I was walking through Daniel Caesar.
I went there too.
It was a good show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. Walking through Daniel Caesar, and this kid just randomly walks up to me and he's like, actually, hold on, I gotta find his name because I don't feel bad if I don't shout out who he is. Where's he at? There he is. His name is, he's RECHI_O on Instagram. And he came up to me. He was like, listen, I'm 22. I listen to the podcast. I love what you guys are doing. Me and a couple of my friends watch the shit on Instagram and we love it and we want to come up with our own podcast. And I'm really we're really glad that you guys do it because we can see it and we're inspired by it.
Dope.
You're just like, what?
Shut up.
Feels amazing. And it feels surreal every time. It's never like, oh yeah, like, yeah, of course you listen to our show. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
How did you find out about us? And that's usually what I ask you, like, why? Why do you listen to the show? And there's that couple that came in to the art show that were sitting front row at Moments of Culture.
Yes.
And I can't remember what their names are, but she was like, oh, I listen to the show. I love it. I was like, why? And she gave me like 12 reasons.
Yeah.
She was like, it's local. You guys are honest. I really feel like I'm in the room with you guys when you guys are talking. Like, the conversations are relevant. She just kept going. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And she just moved. They just moved from Toronto or somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. So I think they're new. They said they were new to Halifax.
Much love.
Yeah.
Much love. So it's inspiring. It's motivating to make the show better, to keep doing the show, keep learning, keep growing, keep doing events, keep talking, keep doing whatever it is that we're doing, because it's working. And that feeling of, oh my God, it's working, is going away less and less. And I feel like it's just being replaced with like, keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, less surprise and just like fuel. And just keep moving. So it's exciting, you know. That happened. Ooh, I met somebody who we may bring on for our 1 year anniversary. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's part of a historic moment in this show. I would say probably the first historic moment in this show's history. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you want to go back to episode 1 and start listening, and you'll know the moment when the moment happens. But yeah, I had a conversation with this person, and I would like to have more conversations with this person. So hopefully we can do that someday, and hopefully we can share with the people. So that's a little something, just as a little tease. Meech turned 29 this weekend. So we went and danced our faces off at Lot 6. I love that Meech. Shout out to Meech. Shout out to Big Demetrius Ferguson, because this man sure knows how to throw a party. He sure as hell knows how to make everybody in the city step their motherfucking game up. I was shopping until 8:15 for an outfit.
Really?
To make sure I looked proper. Okay. Man, oh man, the boys from the island came down. Donnie Moss was here. He had this like white suit with this like purple velvet, and his boy had the matching, but one had white pants, one had like velvet maroon. Oh my God, Bradley was there. Bradley had the curls out, shaking the curls like so, like yo, he had the all white suit on with the cuff pants and these beautiful white. He was looking great. Everybody looked incredible. Laura was dancing, and she was having. Alex was there, looked incredible. Like, yo, everybody was there. Everybody was fly. Everybody was beautiful. It was the city of Halifax. It was lit. It was a beautiful time. Jonathan Autumn was there. There was love, and it was amazing. And Meech, all because Meech said, listen, we're going to come together, we're going to dance, we're going to have a good time. And it is what it is. It's Halifax, baby. Why? And you put on for the city. So shout out to Meech. Yeah. Thank you for doing these beautiful things that bring this beautiful city together, because you in the middle of it, my guy. Yeah. You at the middle of it, so keep doing what you're doing and keep doing it well, because you're doing a damn good job of it. Yeah, Civil Unity happened.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all I was up to. Oh, I got a couple. Business is working as it should be. I got a couple deals in the bank.
Nice.
Some are shaping up to be nice and well. You can make a lot of money selling videos, people. You can make a lot of money doing whatever it is that you love doing. I'm not saying go sell videos. I'm saying figure out a way to do the thing you love doing, because if you find the little formula, you can live pretty good.
He's saying the formula is crack, and you can sell crack.
Yeah, if your videos is crack fire. Yeah, if they love what you do and they want it like a drug fiend, then hey, give it to them.
Don't sell drugs.
Because the beauty is if they see one of your videos and they've got a number of ideas, you sell them 7. You know how much easier it is to sell 7 videos than it is to sell 1 video?
It's back to wholesale with us for clothes.
I'm telling you, I could sell you a 7 video package for 5 figures.
I could sell you a 6 to 23 like LeBron.
There you go. Spit that talk shit. I dig it. Nah, yo, find what you love doing, because as an artist, that starving artist shit is not real. This weekend was the first weekend that I ever. This is the last. Okay, so I paid my student loan officially for the first time.
Okay.
That was cool. And it's the first weekend where I gave my mother money that I didn't ask her to ever pay back. And starting now, she don't have to pay me back no money.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause that's where we at.
Nice.
So if I can take
It's a
care of
good
moms
spot.
and moms will be straight and I can live good, we winning.
Yeah.
So this is, I feel like I'm catching my stride.
There we go.
Like this is, you know, I left to the island June of 2015. So we at the 3-year mark, really. And I told myself, January 2020, this is it. And that gives me another year and a half. I really feel like I'm catching the flow now.
Nice,
Like,
nice.
got the rhythm
Congratulations.
going. Thank you, man.
That's
I appreciate
big,
that.
man.
I appreciate that. So it's like I'm in cruise. Not that I'm in cruise control, but like the work is there. The work is set up. So now it's just like, all right, get better.
Yeah.
Find a way. Like the podcast is working. Cool. Find a way to make it a little bit better.
Just grow
each week and just improve in small ways. So we ain't out here trying to hit home runs no more. We just getting on base because we win games now. So
Yeah. Okay.
go.
That brings me to a sort of a topic that I kind of wanted to bring forth, but I'm not sure if I should. So it's part of my shout outs.
Okay. Do it.
So I want to shout out this person / blog / print company called Salt Racks.
Okay.
Salt Racks.
Okay.
So they reached out to me. They put me on a list of one. They said, "Oh, did you see our blog post that we wrote? We added you as one of the top Instagrammers in the city." So I was like, okay, cool. Let me check it out.
Congrats.
So yeah, thank you. So like, shout out to them. They said they were a fan of my work and all that, blah blah, blah, and they're selling prints. So I checked out their blog, and there are over 55 people on this list of top Instagrammers. So that begged me to question.
Okay.
Especially me, I just attended the social media
Social
conference,
media day.
social media day, and what I just know generally about SEO and all that kind of stuff, and marketing. So I'm like, shoot your shot. There was props to you guys, right? And thank you for the attention. Any attention that I can get is great for me. But
here we go.
You put 55 of people who have over 1,000 followers on your page from Halifax. Now, I'm sure you reached out to all of us individually to say, come to my website. Now, how much SEO are you getting off of our names as a result of that? Now, props. I'm not hating. That's a good move. But then I also think about the idea of, like you said, we're not trying to hit home runs. So I'm like that with my brand. I don't want the hype immediately and fizzle out. I want a steady growth because I want to do this long term.
Right. Yeah.
So I try to avoid kind of gimmicky things. But that said, making money is not a gimmick. If you can make money, then make your money. So I can't hate. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about stuff like that?
I think I had a similar thing happen a year and a half ago. This was like legit. I'm 3 months into starting the company.
Talk about it,
and I was on this list like Narcity.
Narcity, yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
I'm sure you were on it too.
Yeah.
Those things to me, I think they're a good opportunity if they go both ways. Like you said, it's kind of interesting when you get on one and you're early on. Like for me, I was just grateful to be in the conversation. So it was great for me, and I was happy to be on it and happy, but it is unsolicited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you were trying to go for something else and they put you on this list that puts you in a box that you don't necessarily want to be in, unsolicited, then I could see it being a problem, you know? And I definitely understand the SEO side of it as well, because I'm sure having 55 of the top however many people in Halifax, which is most of the social media scene in Halifax.
Yeah, it was pretty much all the people we know that we've been talking about just now.
Right. So then they all share it, and then it all gets moved to your to your website. I mean, that's a good look, obviously, for you. As long as it goes both ways, though. As long as the list, you know, it's like the freshman list for hip hop.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, when it was relevant, and it's an honor to be on that list. Yeah. And now it's kind of lost a little bit of relevance. You know, things like that. So I'm not saying that it's not relevant what they're doing. This is the first time I even heard about it. So, but yeah, as long as it goes both ways, I think for me it's cool.
I'd be intrigued on how the both ways works with such a large number.
That's what got me
of people. Because like you said, it's like with streaming. Let's make a song. Let's make an album with 25 songs. Why? Because if we put enough songs on it, people will stream enough and then we'll boost the numbers. Yeah. If we put 55 of the greatest people in the city, someone's going to share it. Someone's going to tell a friend. Yeah. Someone's mom's going to see their kid on the list and share it on Facebook. So you're like you say, you're swinging. Yeah. Nothing wrong with swinging. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with hitting home runs. But there's another part of it, the element that's consistency. I just want to get on first base and have a nice batting average. I don't care how many home runs I hit. I want to play a long season, a long career. I want to have the least amount of injuries, and I want to be in the game. I don't need the awards. I'm always like very torn about that stuff.
The Cal Ripken. That's
right.
The guy. Played his whole career, didn't get injured, and was one of the legends. Yeah.
Right. So, but there's other people who have all these awards and all these accolades, and it's like once you start to realize that a lot of this stuff is, I mean, politics is politics. Like, a lot of these lists are made because certain people know certain people, and this person gets an award because they know the person who made the list.
Yeah. Right.
So,
especially in this city too, it's a thing.
Right.
So small, right?
So, you know, a certain group can be deemed as more credible, and you know, maybe not mention you and mention somebody else who they know, and now they're seen as, say, as top 10, maybe. You know, like these top 10, they could have went to high school with 4 of them. Yeah. Right. You know, that's just the nature of this city. Like, it's that small and tight knit. So there's pros and cons, but I would be intrigued in what the give back is to the people who are being you know, recognized, like other than being on this in this article. What, you know, because like you said, whatever article that's being linked to on whatever website, their SEO is on the increase.
Yeah, sure.
1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, their site's nicely done. The product is nice. They offered me a free product. And yeah, but like the Narcity thing, I was on that list. Yeah. That was only maybe 20 people, if that, on that list. Right. Every now and then I'll still see I get a hit that comes to my site from there. Right. Whereas this one, I'm not sure if I ever will, because it's 55 and it's going to my Instagram account, which already gets decent traffic. Right. So that's I was like, okay, it doesn't feel very curated. It doesn't feel like I really am special. It feels like you just took a lot of people who seem like they have a decent amount of followers and put them on a list. And like, when I think like they missed you guys, like they missed a bunch of people who I'm like, these people could have been on the list. I don't know why you picked these people.
Right. And then as you see, it comes down to personal opinion, and like if oh man, it's so muddy, man. Politics and who knows who is so.
Oh yeah. It made me feel a little icky. But then at the same time, I'm like, am I just hating on someone who found a thing that's probably gonna lead a lot of people to their website, and then in 2 months ahead, they're gonna be ahead of my brand, just like everybody else.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, baby. That's how it works. There's a clothing brand that popped off in the city, courtesy of using and leveraging the likes of the people in the city, and I heard there were some people in the city that didn't feel they felt taken advantage of. Because this organization used their likeness and made a shit ton of money, and then didn't really do a whole lot for the people that they dragged around and used their social media followings to sell and build their company. So I get it.
Yes.
I get it. So
But if we're talking longevity,
Right.
And these people didn't want longevity
Right.
because they pumped and dumped.
Right. So I guess it's what's the end result? What do you want? And do you want your likes and your recognition now, or do you want to be in the history books down the road for being consistent? So
yeah, it's funny as I always go back to this thing. I think it was it was back in like high school or even junior high. You know when you had those like go to work with somebody who's doing something day.
Yeah.
You know those.
yeah.
And I think I went with someone who's just in an office. You know, it was like a business person. And I went in there and we had this like interview you had to like fill out, you know, ask them questions and stuff. But one of the questions was like, what is the main thing that you could give to someone starting a career? And I think this is applicable to everything. It's like, they said, maintain your bridges and try not to burn bridges and build relationships. That's what everything's about.
Right.
And ever since then, when I think about these situations and I'm thinking about how I move in business, it's always like,
Right.
keep these relationships and treat people, try to, you know, grow together and try to, you know, treat people like friends and family. And if you get that around you,
Yeah, for sure.
then you're in it for the long haul.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's being cautious of that, because I've encountered people, business people. I'm not gonna call people's names though, because I don't want to throw nobody in a bus like that. But I've seen how people have moved around, and I'm wary of their intention
Okay.
in leveraging other people's likeness. Because, I mean, Pete, we talk about some of the clothes that you make. You put Undertaker's face on it. That's cool because Undertaker's face is on it. But where is the Undertaker reaping the benefits of this?
Exactly.
And so we see it in music. Remember the podcast promo videos at the beginning?
Yeah.
I was using every rap hip hop song you recognized instrumental beat. Why? Because I knew that people recognize the song. They'd be more apt to watch the video. So we want to use and familiarize this. Why do people go for corporate sponsorships with big brands? Because if they put that logo on that shit, now you're legitimate.
Right.
So it's a thing that happens, but I think your point of growing together. How is this beneficial to both people?
Yeah.
Because if it's one-sided, what is your intent?
Right.
Because especially when it comes to artists, because we'll damn near work for free for a look.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, I know that artists can, you know, they'll do whatever for whatever. Let me use artists to. So I just make sure that it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Because don't get took out here.
Or check in with people and say, like, is this good for you? Does this work? Because you don't want someone leaving a collaboration or something and being like, I wish I didn't do it. That's like the worst. I would hate that. That would be the worst feeling for me.
Communication.
Just make sure everything's good, and then yeah.
Check in, have conversations. Alrighty, I got a lesson for y'all.
Okay.
Something I learned this week. I want this to be a main topic when Lauren's here.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to dig more into it. No offense to you, Pete.
Is it
None taken.
girl thing?
Well, it requires an opinion of a person who also is engaged too.
Oh, okay.
It's relationship talk.
Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'd be intrigued.
For a female perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really talk a lot about my like relational situations on this show. I try to not. Part of that's because I'm sitting in between two people who are in very happy, committed relationships. And in life we compare often, sometimes when we don't even intend to.
Don't.
But we look at okay, fair. But it's hard when you're of a certain age. You feel like your life is supposed to be this certain thing, and not that I feel like I'm supposed to. Like I did that. when I was 25. When I was 20, I was like, I'm gonna get married when I'm 25, and I'm gonna have a kid. And I met a woman when I was 25 who had a kid, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the universe telling me what I was supposed to have, and it wasn't. It was a complete failure. So this concept of like, ooh, I'm supposed to have this thing because like I say I should and I want to. I know that it doesn't work that way, and I face planted hard enough to know that, but. It doesn't take away the fact that Sid and Emma are getting married in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I know other people who've got wedding dates for next year, and you see all these perceived happy people, and you wonder how you're like, oh, what's my life supposed to be? Not that I even like. Not that I think it should be this, or I think it should be because that's what it was. I think it should be. I feel like I should have this by now, or I feel like it should be this, and I know it's none of those things. And so, but part of me is like, I feel like it should be. I don't know what I feel like it should be, and I guess that's my lesson. It's okay not to know.
Yeah, definitely.
It is.
Because we think we're supposed to know. We expect ourselves to know. We create this expectation in ourselves that we're supposed to, you know, like I'm in a position now where like I'm not overly attached to a female person, which for me as someone who like loves relationships because like, I love companionship and like quality time and like spending acts of service and like doing things with people.
Yeah.
But then you realize like. Maybe you can have that without it like having to be this like relationship that like we're expected to always have. So you're like, oh, okay, well, if I don't necessarily fit in that box because I've tried to put myself in this certain box and like it doesn't work for who I am. Yeah. But then you realize that not everybody fits in a box. So like you're like, oh, maybe there's another box that exists. No pun intended. That I can fit in.
Lots of boxes.
And you just know that there's alternatives, and so I guess for me I'm at a point where I'm like, do I date? Do I be single? Do I pursue this thing? Like, ooh, this is a great person. Like, I feel like I'm just catching my stride in my career, where it's like you see a person, you're like, oh my goodness, is this the person? Like, I feel like I've met so many people, I can't let this slip by because like who knows. And you're like, no, but I've spent 3 years like building for this career thing, and like I feel like I'm just catching the groove.
So are you saying you feel like in order to pick a person you have to sacrifice that career growth?
No, there's time in life that must be sacrificed.
Yes,
because there's 168 hours in a week. Shout outs to what was the podcast that showed us some love for that. I saw it. Hold on, I have to shout them out quickly. Fuck. What are they called? Night and Day. The Night and Day.
Oh yeah, Night and Day. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, they showed us some love on Facebook. Shit, what was I just saying?
About 168 hours a week.
So you realize that it takes career is this much time and work is this much time, and you're like, all right, if I were to want a relationship, how much time does that require? Yeah. And I know how much time I need. I'm a sook. And I need constant attention. That's why I've realized I can't date women with kids.
Oh yeah,
because I need to be the priority.
Fuck that. Yeah.
And if you have a child, I can't be your priority.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to accept that.
And I don't want to accept that. Yeah. So as I'm growing, I'm learning what I don't want, and as I'm learning what I don't want, I'm like, oh, I could want this, but you're like, I don't know what I want. Yeah. I just want to be fucking happy.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I know that I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing.
But it's cool. Like, it's so funny because you bring this up, and a lot of my friends have recently got engaged in the past even couple months. But it's like being around that and seeing those relationships develop. You're like, you look at it and you're like, oh, they found a person that works so well, and you can see it in people. You're like, okay, that's something that's there. So it's like you can't fabricate that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's just okay until it comes along. It just comes along when it comes.
Yeah, and it takes time too. That's one of the biggest things I've realized. Just even in moving back home, like I haven't even been home a year yet. And I look back at situations, and this is a number that just through trial and error, I feel like I need to know a person for at least 2 years before I can know them enough to know that, like, enough life shit has happened, enough weird different situations have happened to like really know a person.
To be in a relationship with them?
No, just in general, I feel like it takes, like, we know each other.
Yeah.
But we haven't known each other long enough to really know each other.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Will Smith and Will and Jada went and spoke to some therapist, some marriage counselor who'd been with her husband for 50 plus years. She was like, "How long have you two been together for?" She was like, "They're like 27 years." She's like, "You don't even know him yet." And you're looking at Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, who've been together for 20 plus years, and someone looking at them saying, "You don't even know this person." So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, because a lot of people who I trusted, I didn't know them long enough. If I had known them long enough, I would have known not to trust them in the fucking first place. Yeah. So I feel like it takes enough time to be around people to figure out people enough to know, oh, what? You got something? Go.
It was real. That's real. Okay, so this weekend will be my 11th anniversary being married.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's real. There are things that sometimes I feel like my wife doesn't know me. And there are things that I'm still learning about her.
Right. And there's still things you're learning about yourself.
And I'm still learning about myself. And that is part of it, right? And where I find a lot of people get caught up in the marriage thing is they're kind of looking for this perfect situation.
Right.
That, but then you meet the person and they start changing or evolving.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're like, that's not why. But that's inevitable. You're always all gonna keep evolving and changing.
Right.
You just have to get to a point where you're gonna be comfortable with that person evolving and realizing you can still come back to figuring out who you are at the core. So it's like me as this podcaster and chasing my artistic dreams and all this stuff.
Right.
My wife knew me as an artist, but she knew me as, it was like, when she met me, I was working for a magazine as an art director, not making very much, and just basically being a playboy.
Right.
Going out 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Just feeling like I had a big title, but it wasn't really shit.
Yeah.
It was just like,
it looked good.
It just looked good. I got free cover at all the bars. I looked important, but I really wasn't that important. And she saw right through it, to be honest, and was like not impressed by any of it.
Good.
And I wasn't ready for something serious. And then all of a sudden I just was, and I was like, okay, I'm willing to give up all of this. And I only wanted to work in cool jobs, like, cool, I want to go to an agency, I want to do this. Well, she's like, you need something steady. You need something steady.
Yeah.
You need, and she just
talk sense right into
talking
it.
to me. And then that led me to Dow, where I've been for 11 years. This year.
Okay.
But now.
Okay.
But so for her to now see me as this person who's chasing these creative dreams and talking about art pays me, well, she's like, yeah, I believe it, but that's not gonna pay our bills. So she's still kind of caught up in that traditional mindset of, but we need to pay our bills. We need to be realistic.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I get it, but this is who I am. I am an artist.
Right.
And I may have kind of suppressed that for a long time.
Right.
But this is who I am at the core. You like before you really knew me.
Yeah.
This is who I was and who I am.
Right. And even in talking about evolving, like you didn't know that we would meet each other.
Right.
And then like the 3 of us would come together, and then it'd become something that you're like, ooh, this path of art is helping me in building what I'm building. And so she didn't know that 11 years ago, and you didn't know that 11 years ago. So that plays into both of the, she's evolving, you're evolving, but you're learning about yourself, you're growing, and so it's like you got to learn you to then be able to communicate that to her almost.
Yeah, basically. I have to. Just this weekend, like I had to articulate to her what I'm dealing with and what's going on with me, because she just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why is he wanting to do this extra work all the time?
Yeah.
You know, and I have to explain it, like, but then I have to explain it in a way that is sympathetic to her feelings, and then really getting to understand why she feels the way she feels,
Right.
and not take it as an attack on me. So
Right.
that's where I'm still kind of learning, like how to go about that the right way, and yeah.
It's kind of an interesting thing, even really similar. Like, I think we're all of that, like, artist mind, and we get caught up in just going in on work, right? Mm-hmm. But it's almost, I was having this conversation not too long ago, this week maybe, is finding people that will bring you back a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull you back and know when you really need to focus on something and go in on something, but someone to balance you out, because sometimes I just go off on something, and I'm in a weird space where I'm just working, and I need someone to kind of pull me back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that, since there's three dudes sitting here, do you find that women are able to pull you back more than men? And maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but do you find that your romantic partner is able to identify those things and kind of steer you in the right direction, versus some, like a parent or a friend or someone that's you're less intimate with?
Yeah, it's probably like the girlfriend or whoever it is,
right?
Because they know they're around you a lot, they know you best, kind of thing. But family too. Family can see it sometimes, and sometimes friends. But I don't know. From my experience, it's always been like the partner, whoever you're with,
right?
Kind of, if they have that, that's an important thing.
Because if you're not giving them the time, they notice.
They notice it way more than everybody else notices it, for sure.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So they tend to call it out more than other people. My mom, when she visits, she hasn't done it in a while, but like when my kids were smaller and she would visit, she was like, you shouldn't be staying up so late. You shouldn't be working so much. I don't understand. What are you doing? So she would kind of pick it up, but
right.
I was like, you're my mom. You just rebel, you know. Your natural instinct is to rebel against your parent, and so you just don't listen.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're learning yourself. Wifey's learning you, and as much as you know each other, you probably really don't know shit.
No, like she was freaking out that I'm gonna quit my job randomly, and then we're not gonna be able to pay for this house.
Right.
Or I'm gonna lose my job because I'm being ridiculous with my time. And I'm like, no, you don't have to worry about that. Any plan I have in place is gonna take all of that into consideration.
Right.
So it's like, like I'm not quitting my job. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like you just you're good.
I'll figure it out. I got you, girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold it down.
It's hard to.
Daddy gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
But that's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe. And she also is the main breadwinner. So it's like, it's another dynamic in terms of I need to maintain. If I don't maintain my corner of what we're doing, it falls apart. So I gotta remember that I have that responsibility.
Yeah. Don't forget. You're not allowed to forget, so don't forget. Don't forget. Speaking of holding down your corner, this takes us to our main topic this week. Yeah. Is your business a hobby?
And this is why it's all related. Yeah. That's a good question. I want everybody actually who's listening who does a business on the side or whatever to seriously think about it.
Yeah, take a moment now to answer this question that you may or may not want to answer honestly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will not answer this question honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only in fear of the answer and accepting of the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is your business a hobby?
Yeah.
This all came from a presentation that you went to and got to check out some of the visuals for Social Media Day.
Yeah, Social Media Day Halifax. Lisa Larder did a talk on business, and she's a very she is like an executive coach. She's got her start in telecommunications, and then she ended up going off on her own when she started doing like executive coaching as part of her. I think it was just related to her job, and people were like, you could sell that service, because people were just inspired by her.
Right.
And one day she just tried to sell it and sold it, and was like, oh shit. And then here she is. No, it's her full-time job, and she makes a ton of money, talking like, 6 figures or whatever,
Right.
doing the shit. And she basically said, if you're not tracking all of your statistics and you don't know where your customers are, who your customers are, how many of them are buying, how many of them are not buying, who's not buying. If you don't have statistics and data sets and know all of these things and track these things, you are running a hobby. You're not running a business. And it just made me feel like, damn, I ain't shit. And I've had people send me resumes. Like, can I work for Glitterati Communications? I'm like, dude, it's just something I do in my spare time.
Well, there you go.
And so
You even speak in that language, Duane. No, you. I don't know if you've noticed this, but sometimes you do refer to it as a hobby.
I'm self-deprecating. Yes, I know. And I have to stop. And that's why I actually wanted to shout Afia out.
Okay.
Go. The universe is beautiful because it sends you all these signals.
Okay.
I didn't see Lisa Larder live when I was at Social Media Day, but I was like, I gotta watch this video. They keep telling me that her talk was great. I watched it this weekend, and I was like, yes, I see. And it fired me up to realize where I need to step up. And I've been thinking to myself, I work in information management, collecting data, and I'm like, this is my job. I know how to do this shit, so I should be doing it to grow my business. And so to tie it back to Two Cream, Two Sugar and Afia, her brothers loved my work, and she loved my work. And I was talking to her, and I was all like meek and trying to and being like humble and blah blah. And she's like, "You can't be like that. You like, nah, it's the shit. You gotta act like it's the shit. Like you gotta be
fake it till you make it, baby. And you done made it, Papa.
Yeah. And this is someone who worked with Kanye, so it was like, sometimes you gotta just do your Kanye shit. You know.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Yeah, stop talking like that. Like, be confident, believe in it. It is dope. It's great work. Period."
Yeah.
Period. And a lot of us need to do that. I talk to artists all the time. I met a woman at the show, Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany.
Yeah.
She was someone who came. So I just wanted to meet you, but I'm not ready to do my art yet. I'm not ready to put it out. It's not good enough. And I told her, it's good enough. I saw it on Instagram. It's good enough.
Right.
Put it out.
Yeah.
Stop waiting.
Yeah.
Put it out. So again, I gotta do this shit myself. But yeah, it's a combination of that. Yes, believing in yourself, but then also continually tracking, continually monitoring. And if you're not making money, what are you doing?
Isn't that the biggest issue with artists as business people? Those who separate the art from the business and want to focus on the art instead of the business. Peter, we've had this conversation before about you wanting to be the creative, and then your move is then I'm gonna just sell it wholesale, so I don't have to deal with the business side. But then you start to see, like you said, Duane, if you're not tracking this, if you're not tracking that, if you're not about your numbers and about your business, numbers being the one thing that most people are so fucking terrified of. I was scared the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I was so scared to look at the numbers, track the numbers. Oh, it's going to be so hard. It's going to take so much time. No, it's not. And if it did, it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And so you know. As soon as you know, it's like, oh, I can do that.
Of course.
Now that I know what it is that I have to do. If you know you got to sell 12 shirts to reach whatever number, and all you got to do is sell 12 shirts. Well, shit, I'd love to know how to sell 12 shirts.
And in 2018, there's literally an app or an application for everything that simplifies everything.
Everything.
And even jumping on to what you said, we had a previous conversation on here about that, how I have always said, like, I'm really focused on just creating and building my portfolio, blah, blah, blah. And really preferring the wholesale aspect. And, I mean, since that time, that was probably a couple months ago.
Right.
I have started to take more steps to involve other people in this process, where I still believe that. I still believe I need to focus on the creation side and all that, but I'm aware that, you know, even though I may not have the time to do those things, to analyze and to reach out to people and to get in other places, I need someone doing that for this to be a business. Because right now, it's probably more of a hobby, because I'm not living off of it. Right. So,
and I think that, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was done.
I think that with Instagram and the gratification we can get, the validation we can get from likes and follows, sometimes trumps the fact that we're not making money. Like, ooh, your Instagram page is lit. You think you are paid. Not if you're not monetizing whatever it is you're doing.
And I think the expectation is that you think in your head that this attention will eventually result in the money. You know, that's the thing that's always in your head. It's like, all right, this is going somewhere, but it could just be likes on a screen. And there's no
unless you're intentional about what it is that you're doing. If there's a plan for it to lead to some dollar bills. And cool, like even with this podcast, Jody Elash, House of Jody, like I did the sales training. She was like, I love that you guys do the podcast, but what is the purpose of it? Like, do you just want to talk? Like, or it's time. It's time you're spending away from your business. So if you're going to make it a part of your business, which is produced by Terrence Media, it's part of my business. So part of it is, if I'm someone who wants to produce content, if I want to be able to, record and host and do all these things, it's all practice and it's all well for that. But at the same time, there's ways to monetize what it is that we're doing, so that we're not just doing this for practice and doing it for fun, but we're also doing it so that if we make a few dollars from this podcast, that's more money we can spend on anything else that we're trying to do. So this like fear of asking people for money for the art that we're creating, that we're putting our own money into, and we feel bad asking other people to pay money for it. It's like, wait a minute, Joe Budden's podcast, some guys are doing shows. Some guys are doing 5, 6, 7 shows in a few nights, going on tour, doing live podcasts. You think them tickets is cheap?
No. Right. Actually, speaking of that, the social thing, and you've started doing that with the podcast. She also said, use the stats, use the numbers to figure out which social networks are actually working for you. So she knows, and we realized. So Facebook is, even though we created these videos initially for our YouTube page and all of that. Terrence realized, way more people are viewing these things on Facebook than people are viewing on YouTube. So a lot of our energy is moving towards the Facebook video side, because that's where the people are. And she said, like, I like Instagram or whatever, but I post, that I'm selling a course on Instagram, and I might sell one a month. I post that I'm gonna have a course on Facebook, and I sell one a day. So where am I gonna spend my time? Right?
No,
absolutely. She broke it down like that, and it's like, and I'm like, I just much rather spend time on Instagram. But it's like, nah, if it's not gonna be good for your business, right now, then so far, like, Instagram is the place that drives most traffic to my website, but it used to be Facebook. So you just gotta be conscious of these things.
And even with building your business and separating it from a hobby and it being a real thing, like it's sometimes recognizing that sometimes your efforts are best used in person versus the internet at all.
100%.
Like I spent so much time making Instagram videos and making promotional videos for Instagram, and then looking at my clients and seeing that none of them came from anything to do with Instagram.
Right. And that would be a result of you looking at the stats, right?
Right.
So back to that.
You said, like, who are your customers? Where do you meet them? Where are you buying? And it's like, okay, I went to this networking event, met this person, shook hands with them, and now I'm doing the video for them. Or, oh, I went to Halifax Social Network, I met Sid introduced me to his friend, and now, boom, I'm doing a video for that person. So it's like, okay, it might be fun, it might be gratifying, it might be entertaining and soothing your creative brain to make videos and postings on social media, but it's like, you know, when you send me the e-transfer, that's way better than any like you could ever put on my Instagram page.
Yeah. Anybody saying, hey, that video is fire, bro.
Great. Yeah, send me the check though. If it's so fire, pay me to make one for you.
It should be like on Instagram, like a little donation button on every post, and they just hit that. Give me $1.
Yeah, if you really like it, and you know, like that's what I started to realize was Instagram was really just a platform for me to like spend time and like I felt like I was building a personal brand that was a hobby. Mm-hmm. As much as it connected to my business, I was rarely posting on my personal, like on my business page, and then I'd go to meetings and meet people in human flesh, and they're all the people that hired me.
Yeah. Now that said, when you know creative stuff like us, there is still benefit in my opinion of building that because at least you have a body of work that you can refer back to people.
Right. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying there comes a time where it shouldn't be the focus.
Right. You should. Be careful where you're spending your time.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're tracking the time and the hours and what your benefit is, Mike Tanner, me and him had a meeting once, and he was like, "Listen, I listened to this podcast. I talked about this person, and they tracked everything."
Yeah.
And he said, "You know what? If I woke this week, I'm gonna wake up at 5:00 every morning." And I'm going to see if I ate better, see if I was more productive, I'm going to see this and that. And he just tracked the stats. And after a week, he'd look back and say, oh, did that thing actually improve my life? Or did it not? Yeah. And you look at it and you say, okay, I made more money this week. I got more sleep. I ate better. Oh, well, that's clearly a thing I need to focus on doing more. And then you stick to it.
What do they call that? A/B testing, or is that the term?
A/B, yeah, kind of.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I heard that term. I just said it.
A/B testing. A/B testing is from a user experience industry. So basically, what you would do is you would design one interface of a website, and then design a second one that you call A, a second one that you call B, and you test the users to see whether A or B gets the better result.
Okay.
And that result might be a buy or for them to click on a specific thing. So sometimes people will launch both at the same time and just watch for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So, which one did we get the best results from? Oh, that one. That's the one we're going to go with.
Right. So A/B tests on your life.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? With business, down to the smallest of things, like the color of your buy button.
Yes.
Affects things.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And to track all that and then work it into your life and find the right mix for everything. Yeah. Business stuff.
How are you finding the development of BZLY, Peter, in terms of what's growing the business? What are you finding the most important things in growing the business versus growing the brand?
Okay. The pre-order thing changed a lot of things for me.
Okay.
The model of a pre-order helped the business side of things.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because when you're a small business, inventory and stock and predicting how much you're going to sell, that's like a lot of money to tie up
cash
into
flow,
this.
baby. Yeah.
Right. Cash flow. Yeah. Cash is everything. So when I started doing the pre-orders, it's like I never have that stock. It's ordered, I make it, I get it out, and that allows my money to be freer, and I can move like that. So that was the first thing, the pre-order.
That's the TNT model.
Yeah.
Yep. You buy your 15 meals, and then I make sure that if I show up to your house and you ain't here, guess what? You already paid for them.
Right.
You ain't gonna stick me with the bill. Pizza man comes, nobody answers the door. Guess who got to pay for the pizza?
Yeah.
Not me.
But then on the opposite side of that, it comes to all the factors of your suppliers, because they have to be reliable for you to turn that over quick enough for people to do a pre-order and get it in time.
Yeah.
So I had to establish those and be confident that I can get the stuff and turn it over fast enough.
Right.
So that was an issue that I feel at this point I'm pretty strong at, and I can flip it pretty quick.
Okay.
So that was a huge thing, the pre-orders, the business side. I knew that worked, which I'm happy about. The other thing is finding, like I said before, some sort of outside person to help me get everything out to either influencers or other boutiques and things like that for the wholesale side of things. Right? Because I know now I took like kind of I just sat down and was like, what am I the strongest at, and what can I trust?
There you go.
Work with someone who's really strong in another side of things.
Work with your strengths, hire for your weaknesses, baby.
That's it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going in the process of finding that person, and that's the next step. Pre-orders worked. It's just kind of growing into what my model is, because it's different. Like I mentioned about this pop-up, the shirt that I'm wearing. Pop-up shops, they work for a lot of people as well. It didn't necessarily work as well for me now. I may figure that formula out. Stats and all that stuff will probably help me. But for now, another mix works for me, and this is a clothing brand in the same city. So it's just it's different from everybody, I guess.
Right. How's and what are you doing on the branding side?
The branding side, honestly, it's all, for the most part, on Instagram.
Right.
And that is the purpose of that page right now, is to direct people to see my portfolio. It's a portfolio. It could be on Tumblr. It could be on anything.
Right.
It's literally, if you scroll down, it shows every collection. It has like a video and 2 photos from each collection all the way up. And it's a way that someone can go, oh, this person's doing something cool. Let me see what they're about, and they can see it all there.
Right.
That's basically what it's for. And the branding side, taking it to the next level. Although the influencer market, if a lot of people don't know, like how things get hot, shoes, all that right now, it's influencers. Right. Instagram influencers for the most part. So that's something that I'm trying to get deeper into. I've sent some things out to some people with no results yet. Right. But you kind of have to take those chances to see
for sure
how it goes, right?
For sure. Duane, what about do you have something to say?
No, it's just I just know the struggle, man.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna ask you the very same question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Because the way you phrase it is good, because people keep asking me how are things generally, and I never know how to answer that question.
Right, it's 2 different things.
Right.
Yeah, your brand and your business are 2 different things.
Right. Yeah. So like even 2 Cream 2 Sugar, I didn't sell anything. The only person I know who sold something was Maria, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So for her it was great. For me it was good, but still great in a lot of other aspects, because
those aspects being what?
My brand grew. So it was great in that my brand as an artist, and art pays me being tied into me as an actual artist.
Right.
It just grew and got that much more credibility. So, and I made some relationships and made some relationships with people that I didn't know as well, that I got to know a lot better that night because I got to talk to them one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me it was a success, and it's something that I'm glad I did. But then there's also that business side of me that still feels like, well, I didn't make any sales though. So, and my sales has dropped off a lot, to be honest, in the last couple months. So
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. However, I do know that my website's not in a great spot right now, and I'm anxious to take what Lisa talked about and really dig into the analytics and see where it's failing, and I've kind of changed my perspective on Instagram a bit too. I was putting a lot of pressure on Instagram to drive sales, and I realized it's just not what it's before.
Yeah.
There are things that even I thought like once they had that you can tag products in it, that I was like, that's gonna change the game, baby.
Yeah.
Not so much.
No.
Yeah.
They throttle the reach on those too.
Right, and I noticed that. So yeah, I tag it with a product, and I look at the reach on it, and it's like it's not getting as many likes, it's not getting as many views. So it's like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. They're saying, oh, you're a business, now you need to pay us for that reach that everybody
for ads.
Yeah.
Right. So and then people are still asking me, how do I get that shirt? I'm like, well, you just click on that thing on the Instagram right there that says click here and buy.
Yeah.
And they still don't get it. So I'm using Instagram as at first I want to say I want to make it a portfolio, but now I think I'm gonna revert back to my original strategy of it just being less polished and being closer to my life, the Art Pays Me lifestyle.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stop putting some of just the unpolished things in my story. I'm gonna start putting some of them directly in the feed every now and then.
Right.
But then still like keep the portfolio pieces in there.
Yeah.
Focus that way, and then but really build up my home base, which is my website, and start putting way more energy into updating my blog on a consistent basis, making sure I send out my newsletter, which I haven't been doing, and making sure that I stock my products consistently and know which products respond well, that kind of thing. So
tracking.
The tracking, yeah.
Paying attention to what's happening.
Instead of just putting out the shit that I want to put out.
Right. Studying and seeing what's working and what's making the most sense.
Yeah.
No, I dig you. And you know what, for me, I think it's interesting too, because and Andy Hine said this too when we went to when he was here. He was like, you know, your brand is your brand. You've established that. Anytime you put your logo or your face on some shit like that's an ad. You really trying to add, like, make everything an ad? And in my mind, I'm like, everything kind of is an ad. So okay, I get it, but at the same time, it's, you know, can you sell 12 videos to somebody? Because we know you can make an Instagram video that, you know, however many people will view, and you know that eventually that became like not even fun for me. Like, I know I can make a great video, but I feel like I'm just putting it out because I need to put out videos to so people know I'm still making them. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'd rather not. I'd rather, you know, I feel like I can build my brand through the diversity of video storytelling at this point. So that's why I loved filming the 2 Cream 2 Sugar event, because pieces from Moments in Culture were there.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we get content of you talking to other people about the pieces in Moments in Culture, which provides more depth and layer to the documentary that we make, which provides a really cool story of Art Pays Me and Moments in Culture, which now you can use to market and sell your product. And I can also use to say, hey, I can make more than 1 minute promotional videos, everyone.
Right.
And that now my brand is, it's less about me and my face and my personality, and more about, ooh, you're doing something else. Like, you've evolved from like what it was that you were doing. So I feel like that. I guess it's different for me, like, because I don't have to sell products like you guys do.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. It's a different beast. It's still creativity, but it's very different, and I guess that's why I'm always curious, like, how do we monetize what else we're doing? Like, is there a way to do a pop-up shop with food and charge a ticket price? You know, like, is there some way that we can generate revenue? Because I think that's the biggest difference between something being a business and something being a hobby. Like, if you're not making any money, or you're not making enough money doing the thing, then like, it's just a fucking pastime.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like playing video games. You really will enjoy doing the shit, and it's fun. And you could make money at it, but you're not. So I'm always curious about that, especially from product-based businesses who, you know, like, you got to sell X amount of pieces at this price because wholesale works this way and retailers are like, it's just different.
Yeah, like I'm in the fucking hole right now, sitting on inventory that isn't moving.
Right.
So that's just real. Some of it is out of season, so that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it's good to think about the ways in which we can monetize our hobbies and our pastimes, because I think that's a difference maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
If we can take the podcast and, you know, if we're getting X, and this is where your stats and your numbers come in.
yeah,
If 500 people a week are listening to or viewing this podcast, that's got to be worth something to somebody.
yeah,
And if that's a local, if that's a local restaurant that would spend X hundreds of dollars to get their logo and brand and their snacks in front of however many people, well, you start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You track that and you say, okay, we grew from X to Y over the course of however long. And I think that's the biggest piece, honestly. Like, as someone who, my first business was like creating healthy foods. It sounds like a business, but like for me, it was just about being creative and making different meals. Like the business shit came second, and it was as soon as I learned that, I was like, oh, this is not the business I want to be in.
yeah. It's not as fun now.
You know what I mean? So if we can find a way to monetize the thing in a way that makes the most sense, then, you know, what you love doing is actually paying your bills and not just something that you do and use to get from Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else? Oh, I'm glad Peter's back.
Yeah, it's nice
Glad
to
to
have
be back.
Pete back in the building.
Conversation's good.
Where do they find you, Big Pete?
You can find me at the BZLY, TheBZLY on Instagram. Yeah, just check out all the stuff I've been doing. I'll probably have something new for August.
Pre-orders for the Cult. Sorry, Clout Chase.
Clout Demon.
Clout Demon. Clout
They're
Demon tour.
closed.
Oh.
Yeah, closed. But thank you very much to everybody who ordered. Appreciate it.
And they're coming out. We'll get them when?
You will get them 1st of August.
Nice. Good stuff. Duane, what if I not, man?
So you can find me at Art Pays Me on Instagram, artpaysme.com, and I started a Glitterati Communications Instagram account.
Yeah, you did.
So I know it's a mouthful of a word. It's GLITTERATICOMMUNI.
Still going.
CATIONS.
Glitterati Communications.
So at in front of all of that. Yeah.
There you go. Check him out. Find him. That's at artpaysme.com. What else?
Yeah. Twitter too for RPs.
You're there.
You know.
You're there.
Yeah.
You're there. Watch CTM on Instagram, TerrenceShowTheMedia.com. We CTM Podcast is most important. That's why I need y'all to check out CTM Podcast on Instagram. We on the YouTube. We on the Facebook, Changing the Narrative Podcast. Make sure you check us out. Download on Apple Podcasts and everywhere you find your audio streaming information. We're still waiting on Spotify. Fuck, it's taking forever.
We're not the only ones. A podcast I listened to, they said it took them months to.
Are they new to it? Is that how?
Who, Spotify?
Spotify's new to it, right?
Podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they're probably still figuring things out.
We're getting there, though. Slowly playing the waiting game, but we're going to get there. Make sure anybody who's listening, if you would rather hang out with us in person, Common Good Solutions holds 120 people. So Thursday night, we will be at Common Good Solutions, 5557 Canard Street, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Oh, another thing. So we talked, I think it was last week, about maybe having sex workers on the podcast.
Yes.
And I might have found a sex worker who has agreed with come on the podcast.
Yes. Deep
So,
dives.
Yeah.
Deep dives from the left side.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued too.
I'm interested. This person I followed for a while, so I'm interested to see what they actually are like in person.
Okay.
Cool.
Seeing internet folk in human form.
Yeah.
It's good. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Shit. Thanks again, Peter.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
Always good to hang out.
Lauren, feel better.
Yes, get better.
Lolo, Bill.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Deuce, beautiful ass people. We'll see you next week.